Welcome to the Jen Lowry Writes Everyday Mom channel, where I'm on chapter 5 of the 30-day Everyday Mom Challenge. All right, guys. So if you're just catching this video because you have subscribed to the channel and have been notified, I'd love it if you would go back and hit chapter 1 because that's the intro, the why, and then chapter 2. And then I will give you this opportunity now to be able to jump in between all of the different episodes. So on chapter 5, this one's about note writing. So I wanted to give you that ahead of time. I love this one so much. And this one is to honor my best friend Tanya, who is an encourager. And she will get these handwritten notes. She'll get Hallmark cards and we'll address those jokers and mail them. She won't even just hand them to people. She will mail them. And I can't tell you what it's like just to receive a handwritten note for someone. It's pretty special. And in this day and age, there are other ways that we can communicate with our children, of course. And I'll talk to you about some of those. That's how the challenges have been going. I'll give you some tips and some suggestions that you can do some things on top of this one. But I think that this one is just important as itself, okay? So as children of God, He has not only blessed us with the Holy Spirit to be our companion and our comforter, but He has also given us and gifted us talents. And there are other Christians out there that have this overwhelming love of encouragement, and they can help build each other up, and they can just get to the heart of things and really speak life over people. There are so many ways that you could encounter your spiritual gift. But the main way, and I'm saying this is it. This is kind of like, there's really no secret to this, but you can figure out what your spiritual gift is after praying, spending time with God, being in the Word, spending time with others, and then having that heart to serve God. Show me God. Show me the place where I'm to be, Lord. Your spiritual talents will begin to surface the more that you seek Him. So this challenge is to honor that spiritual gift of encouragement and edification. And it's to honor my best friend. And for all of us who have our people around us, maybe it's time now to stop in the journal and just thank God for someone, a group, a whole slew of people that have encouraged you. And this would be a wonderful time to do that in your journal. All right. Now, listen up. We must make sure that those around us help us to move closer to God. And if they don't, it's our job to show them how to live a life that is pleasing in His sight and be an encourager for them. If we have stressful relationships, the bottom line, we know it, we transfer those on to our children. And they don't deserve that. And I just don't mean romantic relationships. I'm talking about spiritual friendships, just plain old colleagues, friendships, whatever it is. They each deserve our very best, and that means we should be their biggest fan, their loudest cheerleader, and without all of the other stress that we may bring into that. So when we are with our children, they deserve our best. Now that doesn't mean that they don't deserve our real and we should be fake and we should, no. But we should just guard ourselves. We should guard our hearts, we should guard our minds, and we should seek those opportunities to build friendships with other encouragers, other Christian believers, people that just can help us steer closer to God. So like, if I have a friend that points me to Jesus instead of the world, then that's the friend that I keep in my inner circle. And that's kind of like what I think about with Jesus. You know, Jesus could have chosen any disciple to walk with Him. But the ones that He chose, He kept within His inner realm, they brought not only him, he's already closer to God, but they brought us closer to God with the acts of the apostles and what they did after his resurrection. And so I'm just going to put that sign in the book. Our job is to build each other up. Our job is to encourage each other. And if that's not what's happening in relationships today, then maybe you need to stop and journal here. What can you do on your part to do that with relationships, to mend those, to heal them, to build them up? And maybe it's time. Okay. More than anything, our children need an encourager. One that doesn't keep score. And aren't we glad we serve a loving God that doesn't remember our transgressions after we seek forgiveness? Here's a Bible verse, Hebrews 8:12, that can also remind us on how we should be in our day-to-day relationship building with people, not only with our family. But for I will forgive thee their wickedness and remember their sins no more. The way that we speak to our children matters. You know that there is power in the tongue, and you can go out right now, you can just Google that, power of the tongue, the power of the spoken word, and ask for like a whole list of Bible verses that you could meditate over day and night and pray about that. Let it be with a soft voice that serves to encourage and lift our children every day. Now, I don't want to get negative, but there are times when I have heard parents who just plain old fuss at their kids. Their tone, their whole face changes when their tone changes, when they get frustrated. There can be bullying, there can be negativity, there can be abuse. They can get it at home, they can get it at school. And I'm asking you to do this, please, to seek the Lord's face. Ask the Lord to forgive you for the way that you've been with your children or your family. And ask God to allow the Holy Spirit in you to help you grow and to speak slowly, to think through things before you speak them, to think about how they could affect your children. So let them hear praise more than ever. More than ever, let your children hear praise and encouragement. Let them hear praise more than ever in a world that doesn't speak kindly to them. Let us show them how it's done, and then they will model that as they grow. So I'm not saying I'm the only role model in my house for my children. My husband, their dad, they have extended family members that they look up to. That's fine. But let them know that mama is going to come to them seasoned with salt. Let them know, man, that's why I got so much blood pressure problems, so much seasoning with salt. But they'll know that I'm there to encourage and lift them up. And then that communication builds, the conversations build, the trust, and then that we're there for each other. You get that by being kind and being there and spending time like we're doing now with Everyday Mom Challenge. All right, so I love this verse so much. I really want to memorize this verse, 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Because I think that this is just a powerful indicator of what we can do on a day-to-day to walk this Christian life with others. So I think that this is one of our staple verses. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. All right, so here's your challenge. In honor of my best friend who loves to send notes and cards and letters, you're going to write a note to your kids today. Yep, an old-fashioned handwritten note. When my kids went to public school, I slipped a little note in their lunchbox every day. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I still leave them notes around the house, even though we're homeschooling. I don't do the long letters that you would imagine, like I'm asking you to do now for each of your children. But I do leave little sticky notes even. Way to go, you did it, when Solomon got into Chapel Hill, and I put stickers on it that I had in the drawer. um, I let them know I'm thinking of them. I let them know how proud I am of them. And now with their cell phones, I've done this too. I'll text them just in the middle of the day. And here are some of the quick texts that I'll say to my children. I am proud of you, son. I'll text some random praise. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. I really love spending time with you in the kitchen. Thanks for you telling me about that underwater creature. That is so cool. I love it that you know so much more than I do. I will say things like that to my kids all the time. I say I admire how good they are for as a brother, how much care, how much protection they have for one another and for their mama. And I just thank them, for being my kid. I tell them how blessed I am that God gifted me them. And I mean, those words, this would only take you really, if you time it, to write a letter 5-10 minutes. And you fold it. And if you know how to do the old-fashioned fold, you can have a tutorial right now, because I love to learn how to do the 80s fold on that piece of paper. I have somehow forgotten how to do that fold and tuck. But that would be so cool if I could give my kids an 80s tuck, right? I know there's sometimes that I get an eye roll, especially when I send my kids memes, but I'm telling y'all, it's funny. I will send them the corniest stuff. Well, like last night, I sent them one about The Office, because the kids love The Office. I'll send them things that I know that they like, and I'll send them in a group text. So I have a group text for my kids, and then I have private, stream too. So I think it's cool to have group text when you want to just make them laugh and send them something silly. Let them both get it together. I think that's a win-win. Now I'll go in and I'll talk to my kids every night before going to bed, and I've always done that, and I'll kiss them good night, and then I'll leave them. But then I still send them a text, and I'll say good night, sweet dreams, love you. So that if that's it, if that's what they've got from their mama, then they've got that last text. So give them that little extra message in the day. So as you see, that this challenge is not just meant for today. You write the note, you say, I'm done with this one, girl, and you check it off. This is a way to communicate with your kids and a way to help build those lines of communication, but also to have some fun with your kids. And yes, I do find it hilarious when I go out and I find what they call a dead meme, and I pick up something usually from Facebook, and they've already seen it on Reddit, but I will send it to them, and they'll say, Mama, that was 6 months ago. I've already seen these. And they'll go, oh my gosh, Mama. And I'll say, okay, well, I thought it was funny, and I know they like it. You keep it going. Okay. So, but why, Mom? Here's our part here at the end. If your kids ask why this challenge is so important, tell them about Barnabas. Barnabas was Paul's travel companion on his ministry to the building of new churches. You can look him up in Acts 4:36. How do we want our children to remember us? How would we want our children to be nicknamed? An encourager, someone who speaks good cheer, optimism, and hope to others. Because in Acts 4:36, it says Joseph, a Levite from Cyprus, whom the apostles called Barnabas. Well, so why would they call him that? Because it meant son of encouragement. What if we could go around and give ourselves a nickname? Encouragement, peacefulness, joy. Just call somebody joy, faith, love. Those are our nicknames, instead of some of the silly nicknames that we come up with. All right. I'll tell them, and tell them that by you speaking strongly over their lives, that it gives them the same voice to be able to speak and write like that to others. Read Acts 11:23-26 with your children, and tell them that there are so many people, just like Barnabas, that help spread the love of Christ, and there are still people like that doing it today. And when we're an encourager and when we lift people up, that is a wonderful way to also be able to share your testimony and share your love for Jesus. All right. So now at our journal part, the bright light. Journal. By encouraging your children, have you noticed a change in them or in you? Both? Or in the whole dynamic of your family? You see where that's going? It's going to happen. It's going to happen with you. It's going to happen with your kids and with your family. You keep going. Keep doing the work that the Lord has set in front of us to do. So He's called these children to be our own. And what a lovely calling it has been. All right, guys, that is chapter 5 of the Everyday Mom Challenge. I will get on here, get to chapter 6 when I can. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with me. I am working from home, and I am supporting my teachers all throughout the day and contacting students, and I'm here for you. And then homeschool in the evening. So yes, my kids are still homeschooling on the nightly. So it has been a transition for us all. But I wanted to be able to get on here and do as many of these chapters as I could before my time runs out. Because I ain't getting up at dark 30 still. But I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Reach out to me, jillmallory@gmail.com, and let me know how you're doing. How's the challenges going? I would love to have a check-in with you and your family. I'm doing daily check-ins with my students. So I'd love to get an email from you. Tell me, have you done a challenge yet? We're in chapter 5. I see some people have been watching the videos. So share these videos out with your family and friends. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you'll start getting notices when I do have time to be able to jump on. You'll get the next one. I'm going to try to do as many as I can in succession so you guys can flip through. So I'm going to call this one Letter Writing today. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful one. Bye.